a stick of Trident gum?
It does. It looks like a stick of Trident gum right where his like hip bone is, kind of.
I would say that's probably in his butt cheek.
Huh. And he says that's an implant?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he should go get it cut out.
All right. But the interview is pretty interesting. He goes through and he talks about all the different programs, locations, and the trigger words that they used on him and stuff like that.
To make him turn into a wolf?
I guess.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, we'll provide links to that and pictures of his implant.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess that takes us into theories. So this first theory we're going to talk about, that Jonestown was actually one of the test sites for MK Ultra. Now, if you aren't familiar with Jonestown, basically in a nutshell, Jonestown was a cult led by a guy named Jim Jones. This Jim Jones dude wanted to create a socialist, communist utopia where people of varying ethnicities could live free from the social and political oppressions of the United States at the time, as well as away from the threat of nuclear war that was going on. So Jim decided to get an assload of people, like, I don't know, around like 900-ish, to come and join him in northern South America. But here's the thing. Jim Jones had a personality of a textbook cult leader. He wanted full devotion from his followers and would often retaliate in violent ways to individuals who didn't obey him. Because of the way this cult was run, people were not allowed to like speak freely, and any weird, odd behavior was reported to Jones. There was a lot of snitches there, and he would act accordingly to kind of like get those people out of his group. This would have like friends turning against friends. Family members would often turn in other family members. They were all just stabbing each other in the back. There was a lot of snitches. So a congressman of the United States named Leo Ryan heard about Jonestown and then heard a rumor that people were being held against their will there. So Leo decided to gather up a group of staff members and journalists and decided to pay Jonestown a visit. Now, he went there, he visited with the cult for a little bit, and he was like, okay, it's a little weird. So him and his crew went back to the airstrip to return home. But get this, Jim Jones sent some members of the cult to kill him to assure that they never made it back. Right after that, Jim Jones gathered up his 900-ish members and told them, hey, word's going to get out that these people were dead and the United States is going to come for us. And we aren't going to be able to live peacefully anymore, and there's pretty much nothing to live for. So everyone needs to drink this cyanide-laced Kool-Aid and kill themselves. So that's what they did. All of them drank it, and they all killed themselves. And that's the story of the Jonestown. Now, the theory around this is that this Jonestown and Jim Jones, all of this was a giant test site for the CIA's Project MKUltra, that they were bankrolling this entire operation, that Congressman Leo had found out about it, went to investigate it, found out the truth about the CIA's operations, and went back to tell Congress. However, the CIA found out that Leo knew, assassinated him, and then had to get rid of everyone. So they all ordered everyone to drink the Kool-Aid. And that's the theory, that Jonestown was a part of the CIA's MKUltra.
I can see that.
Yeah, plausible, you know. I mean, there's a lot of weird shit going on.
Like, where did they get the cyanide?
They had it.
Yeah. Don't you have some?
Yeah, of course.
No, I don't know where they got it. I just assume that they had it, you know. Question is, how'd they get that much Kool-Aid?
I was going to ask that, but I thought that'd be wrong.
That's a lot of Kool-Aid.
That is a lot of Kool-Aid.
All right. So what's this next theory we got?
Bet that shit was watered down.
All right. This next theory is that the CIA's techniques of MKUltra were so good that they accidentally and knowingly created mind-controlled serial killers and mass murderers by using isolation, trauma, inflicted psychological punishments. So these serial killers and mass murderers were already on the ledge and didn't need much of a push to go over it. The CIA used techniques to create scenarios to push these killers over the edge. And during the time frame that Project MKUltra was occurring, we saw a spike and a ton of serial killers.
What do you think of that? It fits. A lot of serial killers in that time frame, and you got Project MKUltra going on.
Yep. Gary Heinzek. You remember? You found that article about Gary Heinzek, the dude that would kidnap women and throw them in a hole.
Oh, yeah.
He was part of it. He was stationed with Jeffrey Dahmer. And it basically, it proved that it could have been Dahmer with him because he was subjected to this in Germany while in the military. And when we talked about Timothy McVeigh, a more recent one, because he was seen by a MKUltra psychiatrist in the 90s while in the military.
It was that one base, too, that they had a lot of stuff happen at.
Yep.
Damn. So good.
That is a pretty good one.
Yeah.
I mean, it does fit the timeline perfectly.
It does. All right, Dan, so what's this next one we got?
This next theory is that the CIA reports to an elite society. That this elite society used these findings from the 50s and 70s to help control society better, aka make us the sheep.
So it's basically that the Project MKUltra was all of it, and all of its findings was given to this elite society, aka the Illuminati or whomever it is.
The deep state.
The deep state, to help them control the masses better. Okay.
I mean, if you look into it, who does the CIA report directly to?
The president. That's the only one they report to.
Yeah, nobody else.
I mean, I could see it, honestly, because say like our Patreon episode, Mockingbird, it's kind of around the same time as this, or right near the end of MKUltra, controlling the masses. Kind of fits in. I could see it.
Yeah. All right, Dan. So what's this last theory we got?
All right. So this one's, is it's a far reach for this one, I think. So we know that the CIA have done a bunch of research that is just pretty much inhumane. We got MKUltra, Project Gateway, QK Hilltop, MK Often. You get the picture here. A lot of these experiments. But what if MKUltra was used to control humans with superhuman ability or superhuman capabilities? Like astral projecting or shape-shifting like White Wolf Von Guy, controlling and brainwashing them to work for them to have an edge over other countries, seek intel with astral projection, shape-shifting assassins to take out competition or spies. Because during that time, there were spies everywhere. Because you think, like Project Gateway, they were going after people with strong psychic abilities. And White Wolf said that they were going after people with, superhuman capabilities. So, kind of go hand in hand.
So you think they're just targeting superhumans, assuming there is superhumans out there in this theory?
I think people that have the potential to be superhuman, I think.
Okay.
Because you know how Anna always talked about people being able to reach a higher frequency?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of goes along with that. With people, they were searching for people that could actually hit those higher frequencies and unlock certain potential in themselves.
Okay.
A little far reach, but
Yeah, it reminds me of that movie. What's that movie called? Glass.
Oh yeah, with
Bruce Willis
and the Beast, James
yeah.
McAvoy.
There's that group that hunts these superhumans and kills them. So kind of reminds me a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. So what is y'all's thoughts and theories on all of this? Like, what is your whole take from all of it?
I would say that it definitely hasn't stopped. I still believe they're doing the experiments. I mean, they've deleted, or not deleted, but got rid of most of the documents and stuff. And honestly, like one of the things I read up was that the CIA, they're not going to keep a little personal diary of everything they do. So even if a bunch of documents were burned up and all that, they're still more than likely still doing all of this. No one's going to stop them. Who's going to stop them?
Yeah, you're right. No one's going to stop them. They
one
have pretty
can.
much free reign to do whatever they please. So, yeah, I'm right there with you, Dan. I think these experiments, obviously these experiments took place. And I believe that they are still taking place under a different name. So, What about you, Hans?
You know, I think it is peculiar that during the 50s to the 80s, there was an uptake in serial killers. And, you've already got evidence that some